Your Life in Sex Island, Chapter 3, Our Credit Card, page 63. My son can't talk to their banks about their mortgages.
What?
Because the banks sold the contracts.
What?
Yes, damn it. The banks sold the contract. Who were the contracts with? Look, stupid. The contracts weren't with anyone. They were just contracts. You can do that? Certainly. Suppose, for example, I knock on your door with my little push lawnmower and my little weed whacker and my little hand shears, and I tell you that I would like to contract with you to do your yard work next summer. You are very concerned because you have many tender trees and wonderful flower beds. I assure you that I will take special care. We sign a contract. It would take me more than a day to service your lawn each week. I really wouldn't make much money. So I sell your contract to a guy who has a tractor pulling a 5-foot wide mower who can cut your grass in 15 minutes and will make a very good per hour rate, so he is willing to pay me a premium. He sells your contract to Somber Corporation down in the Cayman Islands, who has some Indians service the contract. You have to pay. Maybe some Jamaicans will cut your grass. Everybody is happy. I sure am fucking not happy. How is a great big tractor going to avoid my trees and protect my flower beds? I'm happy. I made a bundle in 20 minutes without doing any work. Fuck you. The guy I sold the contracts to is happy. He's going to make a bundle. Fuck you. I am not happy. I am not going to pay you, rascals, swindlers. Your credit will be destroyed. You will lose in court. Judges belong to the same country clubs as bankers and lawyers. They are not in your corner and don't give a shit about you. They consider you just another goddamn troublemaker like the 9/11 terrorists. Your paycheck will be guaranteed. A lien will be placed on your house. We will do everything that we can to destroy you. Fuck you. We have more money than you. We have better lawyers than you. Our lawyers know that justice is winning the case and getting their fees paid. I play golf with a judge. We both belong to the same country club. You, on the other hand, have a nice flower bed. Ha, fuck you, you little prick. That seems dirty, but the law is the law. Quote, speculation is a round game. The players see little or nothing of their cards at first starting. Gains may be great, and so may be losses. The run of the luck went against Mr. Nickleby. A mania prevailed, a bubble burst, 4 stockbrokers took villa residences in Florence, 400 nobodies were ruined, and among them Mr. Nickleby. The very house I live in, sighed the poor gentleman, may be taken from me tomorrow. Not an article of my old furniture, but will be sold to strangers. The last reflection hurt him so much that he took at once to his bed, apparently resolved to keep that at all events. Cheer up, sir, said the apothecary. You mustn't let yourself be cast down, sir, said the nurse. Such things happen every day, remarked the lawyer. And it is sinful to rebel against them, whispered the clergyman. And what no man with a family ought to do, added the neighbors. Mr. Nickleby shook his head, and motioning them all out of the room, embraced his wife and children, having pressed them by turns to his languidly beating heart, sunk exhausted to his pillow. They were concerned to find that his reason went astray after this, for he babbled for a long time about the generosity and goodness of his brother, and the merry old times they had when they were at school together. This fit of wandering past, he solemnly commended them to one who never deserted the widow or her fatherless children, and smiling gently on them, turned upon his face and observed that he thought he would fall asleep. Nicholas Nickleby, Charles Dickens, published as a serial from 1838 to 1839. But if they sell, or rather sold the contracts, then why are the banks in financial trouble? Well, when the contracts were sold, the value went up. Then someone bundled a bunch of these contracts and called them by one or another of a dozen different names, like mortgage-based or backed securities, collateralized debt obligations, pass-through mortgage-backed securities, pooled investments, etc. These mortgages were shuffled like cards. They were cut and dealt like cards over and over into different hands, and each hand was called a different name, and each hand was sold for more money and then reshuffled and resold for yet more money. And finally, your bank bought a bunch of securities which were based on the bad mortgages he had sold. They weren't worth the paper that they were printed on, as Yogi said about verbal contracts, but their price had multiplied by thousands. Some dealers became worried about the lack of value. Someone else saw a buck to be made, so they guaranteed the value of the worthless, structured securities. Yep, they insured the securities so that the holders couldn't lose. But they couldn't insure them because that was against the law, so they waved a wand and called the insurance policies swaps. Sort of like Genesis. It is what you call it. A laughing hyena is a laughing hyena. Take the insurance policy, pour holy water over it, and say, I baptize these swaps. Thou art forbidden to be an insurance policy. Maybe they use Latin. So for every dollar of doubtful mortgage, about $100,000 of derivative securities was created. Why should your bank care if the mortgage was sound? It had already made money by selling the mortgage. Why should anyone care if the derivative securities were any good? Everyone was making many billions of dollars. Keep dealing. This wasn't the mother of all Ponzi schemes. This was the God of all Ponzi schemes. This was the big bang of bucks. 1 billion sheets of paper worth a tenth of a penny were each turned into $50,000 each. God himself could not have done better. That's why the bankers said they were doing God's work. Bankers can create. Bankers can create the appearance of wealth. Eventually, naturally, the house of cards had to fall. See the chapter, The Life and Sex Island. Now, 10/29/08, I'm back. We have come to believe that these crooks were even more creative. It now appears that they took a sheet of plain 20-weight white paper and printed on it that this is an investment-grade certificate of value many thousands of bucks. And on the back, printed in 5-point font, these securities entail significant risk, and then sold them to investors as investment-grade securities for your retirement fund. And that the crooks got a 30% to 60% commission for the theft. What a country. I just love free enterprise. Isn't this the greatest country? I just hate these goddamn socialists who are always bitching about the capitalist system. Let's privatize Social Security and put all your retirement money into these certificates with significant risk. You'll make a killing. We will save Social Security. Come to think of it, I haven't heard anyone say that lately. We have to stop here. Please purchase my book, Your Life in Sex Island, by clicking on the link in the description below. Thank you for watching.